For over 100 years, the Butler County Humane Society has cared for and placed into loving homes the area's abused, neglected, and abandoned animals. Our No-Kill initiative was started in 2000 with a commitment of the board, our staff, and our community. As we are a non-profit, non-tax supported facility, the BCHS is dependent on private donations for survival. We hope you enjoy this episode of Critter Corner and bring your entire family to visit us here at the Butler County Humane Society.
At 2 years old, Trooper is just that, a trooper. Happy and sweet-natured, this boy takes whatever comes at him, all the while wearing a big smile on his face. Outgoing and playful, Trooper enjoys most activities, including romping around in the mini swimming pools, making him an excellent outdoor companion. However, he won't complain about lying around the house for some cuddle time. Trooper would do well with most kids, but can sometimes play too rough with other animals. 8-year-old Angie came to the shelter as a stray with a wound on the top of her ear. After it was obvious it wasn't going to heal properly, the tip of her ear had to be removed. However, Angie has no problem still strutting her stuff and drawing in as much attention as she can welcome by welcoming you with a big, bold meow. Her affectionate and even temperament makes her well suited for a home of all ages, though she would prefer to be an only cat. Barely over a year old, Leona still behaves just like a young puppy. Loving nothing more than to romp and play, she is a very active and energetic dog. Her favorite activity is keep away, with most any toy or a good game of tug. She has even been seen trying to catch the red dot from a laser pointer. Due to her spunk and size, she should be an only animal in a home with kids over 13. With 2 kittens in tow, 3-year-old Jovi has already seen her babies get adopted and is now patiently waiting for her turn. As would be expected of a mother, she is calm and relaxed, taking everything in stride. At times, she can be reserved, watching and pondering before making a brash move. Due to her quiet nature, she doesn't always want to interact with other cats, but could adjust to a family with a feline. At just under 2 years old, River is still working on figuring out who he is. It's obvious that he's playful, spunky, and extremely sweet-natured, but at times he's also rather shy and nervous. While around those he knows well, he is at his best and is far more confident than on his own with someone new. However, he easily makes new friends with other canines, but cats are out of the question. River would do best in a home with kids over 15. A big boy with an even bigger heart, 2-year-old Oliver draws all your attention due to his size. However, it's his charm and captivating personality that keeps your attention. Bold and obviously comfortable with his surroundings, Oliver marches around like he owns the place, greeting everyone around one at a time. Expecting nothing but the best, he would fit well into any home that will give him the same attention and affection he's sure to give to you. Durango is a 2-year-old beauty, and judging by his personality, he knows it. Always holding himself with an air of dignity, he watches the world around him with his head lifted and ears perked and alert. However, he has a relaxed side as well, willing to romp around the yards and play. Durango is a smart boy who listens well and is eager to please. He would fit well into most homes with kids over 5 and some other animals. Originally a skinny stray kitty, 2-year-old Franca has settled into the pampered life at the shelter. With an obvious love of food and cat treats, she has packed on quite a few pounds, but that just means there's more of her to be loved. Looking for a home that will continue to treat her to the finer things in life, Franca will reciprocate the affection with contented purrs and meows. In order to preserve all your attention for herself, Franca would prefer to be the only cat in a home, with kids over 6. At 1 year old, Sapphire was surrendered to the shelter with her sister when her owner could no longer care for them. Understandably shy and nervous at first, she has made great strides in confidence and is much more receptive to the attention she receives from new faces. However, she is still most comfortable around those she knows well, making her best suited to a home with older kids, but would do well with most other animals. Although 8-year-old Maya was surrendered to the shelter from the home she's known for the better part of her life, the change of scenery doesn't have her down in the least. Quite affectionate and extremely social, Maya will rub on your leg in greeting, enthusiastically meowing the whole time. Though she doesn't seem to enjoy the companion of most other cats, she doesn't seem to mind the company of any and all humans, adults and kids alike. Want to make a difference in the lives of the shelter animals until they find their forever homes? The Butler County Humane Society is in need of some items that you can donate. Much needed items include plastic baby swimming pools, grain-free fish formula dog food in both canned and dry, large-sized dog bones or rawhides, sturdy rubber dog toys, chicken formula canned cat food, Purina brand dry chicken and rice cat food, Purina Pro Plan weight management chicken and rice dry cat food, large chain link leashes, and brooms. Calling out to you as soon as she sees you is 8-year-old Paige. As loving as can be, she will rub against your legs asking for some love. If her silent pleas are left unanswered, you can be sure she will start talking some more. Paige would do well in most homes without kids, though she does not seem to like other cats, preferring to have all your attention for herself. Surrendered to the shelter when his family could no longer keep him, 6-year-old Double D has made quite the impression on staff and volunteers, due to his large size and even larger personality. Though active and vocal in his kennel, he is a giant sweetheart that is simply looking to catch your attention in order to acquire some love. Double D is intelligent but can be easily distracted, making him best suited in a home with kids over 12 and no cats. Craig was one of 7 stray cats rescued from the Butler area by a compassionate woman, all of which started off rather shy and uncertain. Soon, staff was able to see their individual personalities. Now 3 years old, Craig still takes a few moments to warm up, but has been known to hop onto your lap whenever he is in the mood for some lovin', once he is comfortable with you. Not one to cuddle too much, he would do best with kids over 5, but would love the companionship of another pet, especially another playful cat to match his personality. Always in a good mood, 10-year-old Willie never lets anything in life get him down, even being blind. While he occasionally bumps into things while trying to traverse the world, he merely pauses to wag his tail before continuing on. He enjoys the company of other dogs and has been known to follow them around the fenced-in yards during playtime. Willie would make a great addition to most homes, but would do best in a calmer environment so he isn't startled too much by unknown noises. At around 1 year old, Callie has gone through much in life. Despite previously having a home, she had to be surrendered to the shelter when her family could no longer give her the care she deserved. At first, she didn't respond well to the transition, but now she has come to love her shelter companions and is a vibrant, spirited young cat waiting for a new family. Callie would fit best in a home with kids over 7, but enjoys the company of most pets, felines and canines alike. 5-year-old Lucas found himself returned to the shelter when it was evident he was incompatible with his family's current living situation. Active and talkative, he enjoys exercise in all forms, whether it be running, walking, or playing. He is also a smart boy that aims to please, all in order to receive some loving attention from you. Due to his activeness, Lucas would fit best into a home with kids over 8, but may get along with other pets. Middle-aged at about 7 years old is Flicker. While not always big on snuggling, she still enjoys the company of people and all that comes with your attention, whether that be a gentle chin scratch or a wave of a feather wand. Due to her rounded personality and fun-loving attitude, Flicker is likely to fit into most homes with adults and kids of all ages. Sweet and peppy, 3-year-old Tanya greets everyone with a tail wag and a smile, but reserves the best hugs and kisses for those she knows well. Don't worry though, as she isn't hard to win over at all, and before you know it, she'll be greeting you just the same. While she's a lover at heart, she still enjoys walks, playing chase, and playing with other dogs as much as cuddles. Tanya would fit well into most homes with or without kids and some other animals. 3-year-old Renee came to the shelter with an injury and had to be on cage rest until she recovered. Now fully healed, she still sports a slight limp. However, this hasn't hurt her spirits at all, as she's still as friendly as can be. She is also active and mobile, not even noticing the traces of her past life. Renee would do well in most homes, with or without other pets and kids. Maturing years at 8, Elroy's activity level may not be as it once was, yet he still has plenty of pep left. He is frequently seen running around the yards with his current canine companion, proving that his age can't slow him down too much. But his true appeal lies in his disposition, as it is next to impossible not to fall in love with his quiet sweetness and happy hound face. Elroy would likely fit well into most homes, with or without other pets and kids. Mila had the good fortune of being found by one of Butler County Humane Society's veteran volunteers and spent a brief amount of time at her home. There, it was discovered that she is a bit of a lap cat in her, but only once she becomes comfortable with you. Since being at the shelter, Mila has become a bit shy once again, but after some patience and care, she is coming around once again to more and more people. With an air of elegance about her, Mila would make an excellent companion for a quiet home without any other pets, so she can receive your full attention, as she knows she deserves. Nara arrived to the shelter as a stray, and at first, staff thought she was a stubborn girl who didn't want to listen. However, it quickly became apparent that she just couldn't hear. Despite being deaf, she knows a few of her commands and listens to them rather well. Being 3 years old, she still has plenty of spunk and loves to let loose, chasing after toys or playing tug, mostly by running around you in circles. Though a sweetheart, Nara would do best with kids over 15, but does alright with some other dogs. This 4-year-old man, Jerry, is quite the handsome fellow with a face that's hard not to love. Starting off shy at first, he can be highly affectionate if given the chance. After a gentle cheek massage, you'll have him purring up a storm and following you around in hopes of more affection. Though still a bit nervous around other animals, he seems to have the potential to get along with them, as well as children. Despite getting up there in age, 10-year-old Sochi has tons of spunk and many years to go. A favorite among volunteers, she gets excited as soon as she's leashed and ready to go for a walk. Most of the time, she's out ahead of you, barking and turning around to see what's taking you so long to get going. Once the walk is over, she's ready to settle in and snuggle up for some petting and cuddles. Sochi would fit well into any home, with or without kids and other pets. The Elizabeth Taylor of the Butler County Humane Society may not be as glamorous as the movie star, but she's still quite the looker. At 1 year old, she still has some of her kitten attitude left. Whenever she's out of her cage, she likes to roll around on the floor, soaking up the attention she receives from her theatrics. An outgoing girl who seems to enjoy the spotlight, Elizabeth Taylor is a star that would fit well into most homes. Although he's all grown up at 3 years old, Clay still acts like a giant puppy. Bouncy and goofy, he often interacts using his paws, whether it's pawing at you for some attention or grabbing at his toys to pull them in closer. He knows several of his commands already and performs them fairly well whenever he isn't focused on playing. Since he's loving and friendly, Clay would fit well into most homes with kids and cats, but is picky about canine companions. Beautiful and reserved 5-year-old Judy came to the shelter as a stray, and she is more than ready to find herself a forever home. While she may be overlooked at first due to her initial response to strangers, she can be an excellent, low-maintenance companion once you have earned her trust. Once she understands you and you her, she will be a lifelong friend. Preferring to have all 4 paws on the ground, Judy would do best in a family with kids over 8. Meet Laurie Camella. Laurie is one of the Butler County Humane Society's longest volunteers. Beginning in 2001, Laurie is equally comfortable with both cats and dogs at the shelter. However, she now spends the majority of her time working with our dogs, training them so that they will be ready to go to their forever home. All of Laurie's animals have been rescues, and she has taken titles in Canine Good Citizen, Therapy, and Agility with her rescue dogs. Pictured here with her current favorite Butler County Humane Society resident, Dutch, Laurie is truly part of the Butler County Humane Society family. Still young and learning, this 2-year-old cutie Reba has plenty of enthusiasm left from her puppy days. She loves to play and run in the fenced-in yards at the shelter. Once she burns off some of her energy, Reba is ready for some TLC and happily gives kisses. Though she didn't know much upon arriving as a stray, she already knows many of the basics and is continually learning thanks to dedicated staff and volunteers. But since she still has work to do, she would do best in a home with kids over 12. A big boy with a personality match, 3-year-old Grover can't wait to meet you. In fact, he's so eager, he will start to dig at his cage door to get out as soon as you lock eyes with him. Once out and about, he instantly begins to rub on your legs in hopes of some returned affection. With such a friendly and outgoing personality, Grover would make a devoted addition to most homes. Arriving at the Humane Society as a stray was a little overwhelming for 2-year-old Pitty Pat, but after settling into the daily routine of shelter life, she is slowly gaining some confidence, thanks to staff and the help of volunteers giving her some extra TLC. With those she knows well, she is the best lover around, snuggling and giving kisses galore, though she can still be shy with new people, making her better suited to a home with older kids. Proper and ladylike, just as her name implies, 1-year-old Miss Lucy was surrendered to the shelter when her owner could no longer care for her. Staff was informed that she is loving and sweet, but it took some time for her to adjust to her new surroundings before her true personality was shown. Now, her fantastic nature shines through as she happily socializes with other cats and greets newcomers with welcoming eyes. Before you know it, she'll be purring up a storm in your lap. Miss Lucy would fit well into most homes. Arriving at the shelter with massive hair loss and an understandably nervous attitude, 5-year-old Maddie had a rough time fending for herself as a stray. Thankfully, she merely had a flea allergy that was easily treated. She also quickly overcame her nervousness and is now an outgoing, lovable girl who gets so excited to see you, her body wags along with her tail. Maddie would fit well into most homes, but is choosy about her canine companions. Smokey was brought to the shelter at 3 years old. Before arriving, he had an unfriendly run-in with the dog, making him very shy. Though he's often seen hiding both in and out of his kennel, staff has seen more and more of his personality the longer he has been at the shelter, reassuring them that there is still a friendly boy hidden behind all those nerves. But this still means that Smokey would do best in a home with no young kids or dogs. Benny is a cheerful boy, full of excitement, especially when he sees a friendly face. Even though he's now about 2 years old, he does the puppy wiggle to greet you, whole body wagging back and forth. Once outside of his kennel, it's not hard to be won over by his bright eyes and pleasant, upbeat personality. Benny would fit well into most any home with or without other pets and kids due to his charming and well-balanced disposition. 2-year-old Esther started off her stay at the shelter with her best foot forward. Right off the bat, she was friendly and affectionate with staff and has continued to be so with volunteers of all ages. At first, she didn't seem to enjoy the company of other cats, but has made some improvement, leading staff to believe she wouldn't mind sharing her new home with some other animals or kids. Dutch is 2 years old and arrived to the shelter as a stray, so not much is known about his past. However, it is clear that he knows what he wants, and that's a new home. Strong both mentally and physically, Dutch likes to be active and challenged whenever possible. This can make him a bit much for younger children, so a home with children over 10 would be best. However, he would make a great companion if you are looking for anything from a running partner to a cuddly house dog willing to learn some fun show tricks, such as roll over and play dead. Still young in age, 1-year-old Mary seems to have an old soul. Not much of an active kitten, she prefers to seek out your attention. From time to time, she still acts her age and chases around anything with feathers, though she would rather have a welcoming lap that she can hop onto for a cheek massage or pampering brush. Mary would still do best in a home with older kids due to her occasional kitty diva moments when she wants some time to herself. Running as a stray did a number on 2-year-old April. Upon arriving at the shelter, she was missing most of her fur due to a flea allergy, but after a few baths and lots of love, she is once again a beautiful girl with a full, healthy coat. On occasion, she'll show off her pearly white smile in an appreciative response to all the compliments she receives. However, there is more to her than looks. April is a charming young lady who gets along with other animals and kids alike. Adopted and returned when his owner could no longer afford him, Jackson has found himself in the market for a new home once again. Often attempting to act stately, he frequently blunders the attempt, tripping while trying to jump into a chair or giving in to his playfulness in a quick burst of energy by chasing after a string or piece of fuzz. Though he seems to be embarrassed afterwards, it's clear he enjoys everything in life and it's enjoyable to watch. Jackson would fit well into most any home. 3-year-old Brittany arrived at the shelter with a wound across the back of her neck, showing she had a rough time as a stray. Understandably, she was very timid and cautious, wary of all the attention she was receiving from staff. Now, Brittany has come out of her shell and is much more willing to meet new people, but she would still do best in a home with children over 10, as long as they are not high energy, as they may startle her some. When Ivy first arrived at the shelter as a stray kitten, she was taken into foster care where she was nursed back to health and grew into a hardy cat. Now 3 years old, she is seeking a home that will allow her to adjust on all her terms since she was adopted in return for hiding too much after a short period of time. If allowed a little bit of space and understanding, she will soon be hugging your shoulders, headbutting your chin, and giving kisses on the cheek. Hannah was adopted from the shelter as a puppy and now, at 7 months old, had to be returned after her owner passed away. Understandably confused, she started off very shy with staff again, taking her time to readjust. Once comfortable with the new faces and surroundings, she's become much more adventurous, wrestling and roaming around the yards with the canine playmate. Due to her residual nerves, Hannah would do best in a home with kids over 7. While she didn't show much of her personality at first, 3-year-old Felina is slowly showing her colors more and more. While she's a beauty, her true appeal comes from her personality. Though she doesn't like to be held for long periods of time, she's more than happy to give you lots of affection on all 4 feet, and even sometimes on your lap. Being such a lovely girl inside and out, Felina would fit well into most homes. As a senior dog, 8-year-old Okie knows exactly how he wants to spend the last half of his life, with plenty of TLC, R&R, and a welcoming lap to snooze on. Though he enjoys lounging around for a good portion of the day, Okie is more than happy to play with toys. He's even been seen throwing them around for himself during his kennel break behind the front desk. Due to his age and desire to go at his own pace, Okie would do best in a home with kids over 13. After arriving as a stray, 1-year-old Zira was understandably scared and uncertain. However, she instantly took to one of the staff members and was a bouncy, outgoing girl that plays, gives kisses, and thinks she's a lap dog. Although she didn't respond the same to everyone that way, she has made great strides with everyone and is coming out of her shell more and more each day. Since she still has a way to go, she needs a home with no kids under 13. Felice came to the Butler County Humane Society as a stray. Staff discovered that she was already spayed, so she must have once been part of a family. While no one knows how she ended up on her own, she's moving forward and looking for the perfect home. During her stay at the shelter, she has understandably become picky with her people after seeing so many come and go, but she can be as nice and loving as the next cat if she approves of you, though since she can show some catitude now and again, she would do best in a home with older kids. 7-year-old Peanut was surrendered to the shelter due to her incompatibility with other animals. While it was quickly confirmed by the staff that she disliked cats, she seemed to enjoy running and playing with some other dogs, large and small. Due to her active nature and need to feel secure if being picked up or held, she would do best in homes with older kids, but would be an excellent addition to any home that matches her interests in kisses, cuddles, and walks. The Butler County Humane Society will be holding a rabies and a microchip clinic on Saturday, July 5th at the downtown Butler City's Farmers Market, located at 205 South Chestnut Street at the intersection of Chestnut, Race, and Shore Streets. The clinic will be from 2 to 4 p.m. Rabies vaccines will be offered for $10 and microchips will be available for just $15. Animals must have proof of a current rabies vaccination to receive a microchip. For more information, please call 724-789-1150. 1.5-year-old Ashley has matured into a spunky young lady with a love of playing and socializing. She will greet you as soon as she sees you by calling out with a meow and by reaching out her paw through her cage door. Once out of her cage, she shows a lot of interest in what's going on around her in a friendly, outgoing manner, making her well suited for most homes.